Women's Empowerment, Women Leading. This is a podcast for women by women, asking the question, are women leading? Join me for the conversation at Tari, proudly brought to you by Gender and Media Connect, a place where we talk about women's issues and you have your voice and say. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the podcast, Are Women Leading? My name is Tari, and this series is proudly brought to you by Gender and Media Connect, Women's Coalition of Zimbabwe, Research and Advocacy Unit, as well as SWAG in partnership with the Embassy of Sweden in Harare. Joining me for this discussion is Ms. Patricia Kamangirira. Trish, good afternoon and welcome.
Hi, Tari. How are you doing today?
I am well. So in this episode, we're discussing the pretentious female, asking the question, why do women not support one another? Because you always hear people saying, you know, these are some of the conversations that I've had with the men. So maybe before we even get into the pretentious female, let's talk about what a healthy friendship looks like. What does that look like to you?
Okay. A healthy friendship is give and take. I think it's healthy for any relationship. I give something, you take something. Sometimes you give something and I take something. So it has to interchange. And at the end of the day, I believe everyone has to feel they're gaining something out of a relationship and not always giving. Everyone is different in their own way. I believe it's good to have strengths that other people can benefit from, just as well as I can have weaknesses friends can cover for me. So either way, you can't have it all. So you need friends to be able to give you that balance in life. Slow me down when I'm going too fast. Help me pick up pace where I'm going slow.
I like that you talk about support, Anditi, supporting one another in all the things that we do. So I've heard in some circles, Trish, you'll start your business. Oh guys, support me because this is what I'm doing now. This is my hustle. I'll look at you and I'll say, but why? Trish, why can't I just go to the boutique down the road and buy from them instead of you? I mean, you're supposed to be my friend. I'm supposed to be your friend. I'm supposed to be supporting your business. But yet, for some reason, when it comes to women, we see kuchipanema issues. Very different from men. They will go and drink there because what is happening with us?
I would say that's a stereotype because not everyone is the same. And where I come from, it's way important to support family and friends. I buy my cakes from a friend, Rutendo. I buy my clothes from a friend, Def. I buy my booze from a friend, Farirai. You just need to know who you are. And because you also want to be supported in your hustle or whatever it is that you do, I think it's only fair that you support your friends. So it's something that has to be inbuilt. Again, it's something that you can teach your friends. Whenever I met with my friends or even new people, I ask them, what is it that you do for a living? You don't want to talk about it, fair and fine. Do you have a side hustle? If there's any way that I can support your business, I don't see why I should not. I'm saying when I say let's hang out, I want everyone to be able to pay their own bill. For you to be able to pay your own bill, you need to make enough money to pay your own bill. So I want my friends to make the money.
And you want them to go to a particular place where everybody can afford this stuff, isn't it?
Exactly. I don't want to be limited because my friends don't have enough.
Yeah.
So I want my friends to have, enough. If we were going out, everyone should be able to spend this much. Or if they can't, maybe someone else can pitch in a little. But the idea is we're supporting one each other. No one lags behind.
So how do you suppose you got to this place? Because this is an interesting dynamic coming from a woman, and you'll have, or even hear other people will say, no, because in the Tari, no way, I'm not doing that. And the minute you try to support, and I'll use the word support Lucy, or even ask me this question, what are you doing? What is your side hustle? I start thinking, are you trying to get in my business? And why?
I understand.
This is stuff that happens.
Yeah. It's something that I said before. It's basically culture. Like I'm saying, where I come from, my friends have always been my family. They come first. And from my family comes friends. And my friends end up as family. If you see me with my dad's friends or his older cousins or whatever, they're just like family. You can't even tell apart that we're not related. And I give them the respect that they deserve because they're also older people than me. So it's something that we also need to learn in society, that let's give each other the space and respect that we deserve. You know, there's this saying, I think it's Mtukudzo Mapfumo who says, "Anemari ndiye mkuru." It's not necessarily like that. It's something that a culture we've instilled in ourselves, where we want to give the people we think have money higher positions or a place that really they shouldn't get. Let's try and elevate each other to be in a situation where if we're sitting on a table and having a meal, we're equal. The only way we can be equals is if we uplift each other to be able to look like equals.
Yeah. So you talk about Nyadzi supporting one another in terms of the business arena.
Yes.
Nima healthy relationships, you see, it's a give and take. When I'm down, right? I need you as my friend to lift me up. Hey, what's going on? Give me that call and check on me. But Paningayi self-esteem, and I think this is a big, big issue that we as women, we love to look nice, and you give this example of let's go out, for example. I've heard in some circles, it's okay for you and I to be friends behind closed doors. So I'll come to your house and we have a cup of tea. But all the attention is going to go to you. And I feel a certain way. So are we friends then? Am I pretentious? What is that?
Interesting question. I'll say it always comes down to one or two aspects. And the biggest one being everyone is different. That's number one. As much as women are different, men are also different. My taste in men is different probably to yours or the woman next to me. Same thing, any man's taste in a woman is different. So even if you and I go out as friends and we meet a couple of guys, they're all not going to be attracted maybe just to you because they may all have different aspects of whatever they're looking for in a woman. But there is the obvious type. You know how society has stereotyped yellow bones, skimpy dresses, people who have it all out. Or again, there are also people who then just don't show anything at all. So I'm saying it's up to the person, and it's you who has to have that self-esteem that, you know what, I know the kind of person that I want to attract. And if I'm not able to attract that person, then it's not meant for me.
Okay.
The person who's meant for me will be attracted to me the way that I am.
So this sounds to me like it takes a lot of wisdom and growth for you to get to that point. But Muma relationship imomo as friends, you have your friend who, whilst you may feel that way, like we attract different people and it's okay. You've got your style, I've got mine. You've got someone who sometimes might try to copy you. And so you go buy your jacket, I'm going to buy exactly the same thing. Now, you get that hairstyle, I'm trying to get that too.
Same hairstyle.
I'm trying to copy you. And this we need to call it Trish, the way that you are. I really like this about you. Can you teach me? And so not necessarily collaboration, but there's a whole lot of competition that happens amongst women.
I think the important word that you introduced there is not just someone copying, because copying really is not bad. You'll never really do it to perfection.
Yeah.
The thing that you introduced is competition. The problem with women, we believe we're in competition. But we all start our journeys differently. And because we start them differently, the finish line is going to be different. Or our finishing time is going to be different. Some people run 50 kilometers an hour. Some people run at 60, some at 80. So you really can't compare yourself to the next person who's really like next to you. And someone did tell me, all that glitters is not gold. We all know that. I've always known that sometimes the first appearance or whatever you see for the first time in someone will definitely leave a mark. But remember, it's not only what you see. It's when you have a conversation with someone that you can really understand them. Can they add value to our relationship? We're talking about healthy relationships. I'm not going to benefit from a relationship of someone who knows how to do makeup and that's it. I need to grow as a person. I don't have makeup 24 hours of the day. I need a place to sleep. I need to eat good. So I need a balance of friends. I think that's why when you look at people, you have a friend you talk to about makeup. You have a friend you talk to about business. So it's also the same thing with supporting each other. Support the people who support you. If you don't support me, why should I support you?
Okay, good question. So we're talking about the pretentious female. Are women supportive of one another? It's a timeless conversation. Research has been done on this. I was reading the journal on female leadership and education. And it said that some of the one of the things that they found during the study was that women's relationships or friendships are on a horizontal hierarchy. So what that basically means is if you are friends, your marital status is generally the same, your same level of income, you've got the same interests. However, if a disruption happens during that friendship or to that friendship, and the disruption could be marriage, it could be a divorce, it could be a baby, it could be a promotion, the whole relationship changes. You're very successful in your field, accounting. Have you had those kind of disruptions to your life and to your friendships? And how did you deal with those things?
I would have to say I probably have, but I choose not to take notice of them.
Okay.
Because I've told myself I'm my own person and I want to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy when I can and with whoever I want to enjoy them with. So if you're available to enjoy them with me, then cool, let's hang out. But if you can't, for whatever reservation, be it it's your husband, be it it's your new circle of friends, I think that's your choice. Like I was saying, we all have friends for certain kind of things and places that we want to be. I can't be with same people 24/7. It doesn't work. I have a work circle. I have a social circle. I also have a family circle. You'll find even in families, I can't relate to my three sisters the same way. I speak to someone about something else. I speak to the other about something else. Same thing as my brother.
We're talking about the findings in that journal that were published on today. And one of the disruptions is money. When a woman gets, a job, maybe, she gets a job that pays her really well. My taste chinja, so now I want to have shampoo. Now I don't want to do my $5 nails. I'm going to go to the $50 one. My hairstyle is not going to be the $5 one. I don't have to haggle. Time boy to haggle, but I don't have the time to do that anymore, right? So now you've got money, your tastes, where you want to hang out, and you date a man with money, it's like, who you trying to be? You know what I mean?
Well, that goes without saying, because when my profile changes, I also have to change along with it. Sure, if I used to drink in a $2 bar, I can't continue going to drink in a $2 bar. I meet the people that I can be able to actually relate to. I also want to continue increasing my profile. So I need to go to the places where I can meet people who will enhance me, people who will be able to make sure I also go places. Here comes the issue that I was talking about. You also need to enhance your friends if you don't want to leave them behind. I think the people who are then labeled to having been leaving their friends or family behind is because you don't want to grow with them. I believe in whatever you do, you need to grow with the things that are important to you. If my friends, if my boyfriend, if my relatives are important to me when I grow, I will make sure they grow with me. I think this is the problem that people have in the society. We then want to move from point A, jump B, right up to C. You forget the people that have helped you become that person that you are.
But isn't it, whilst I agree with you to some extent, isn't it also that you have people who don't want to grow with you? So these friends and some of the family that we're talking about, I understand my friend is now in this place. I'm not coming in to ask, Sha, how did you get here? Can you also pull me up? In fact, to pull myself away from you because, well, we've got this attitude.
Yeah, true. People are like that at some time, at most occasions, actually. But I'm saying the onus is on you because you're the one who's growing. You can't make something grow before it's time. That's why I said you need to grow with the people. And ordinarily, if you do see that someone is not growing with you or in the same manner you'd want them to grow with you, then yes, you can pull back. But I'm saying you can't be in a relationship, then you can't grow with any of your friends. Certainly you're the problem.
You okay. So let's give an example. Yeah, my female CEOs, they're not a lot in this country. There has been this talk of female mentorship. The role, what do they owe the rest of the women? What has happened is you look at some of these CEOs, per weekend, I golf, my CEO friends, and I charity goals, spend time na my Janet. I don't know what they were doing, maybe watching some kind of movie or something. And that stuff is not happening anymore. And then there's this call for we need to empower women, women who are elevated, women who are enlightened, all the other women at the bottom, something. But now, when the woman gets to the top, amuka bubble, chaiti, go down there. And then you have people also asking the question, Saka, if you women cannot support one another, because look at yourselves.
Yeah. Well, I kind of agree, Kuti, when you get to a certain point, like you become a CEO, for an instance, you now kind of living in your own bubble. But like I said, it's personal. It's more to do with attitude. It's about someone, because you're not in the office 8 to 5 every day. And during the weekend, you can be at work or have your social life. You then need to balance your social life. Have your high-end social life with mind-like CEOs, but also have the social life with your family. We all know there are a lot of family gatherings where you can actually invite your friends. Don't leave them out in your journey of growth. Make them also learn what has made you become the person that you are. Some of the times it's due to your education qualification, but it's not always the case. Sometimes it's God's grace. In most cases, I believe it's God's grace, because there are obviously more people who are probably more qualified than you are. But when grace locates you, you're able to rise beyond whatever anyone can say, because God has said it's your time. So you need to put yourself in a place, like I said before, don't forget where you came from.
When someone gets at the top, sometimes you are disillusioned to think you got there by yourself. But Panema, little elements, like I wonder, that kind of got you there.
Yes.
So why? Why is it that we forget?
I'll actually tell you one of the biggest elements I think is there and that people actually forget. The thing called opportunity or chance. It usually knocks on your door once. And you have to be an opportunist. When you get a chance to prove yourself about something, make sure you do your best, because you will not have another opportunity to probably showcase that talent, whatever it is that you have. I'll tell you, it's not the successful people who really have all the strongest of qualities, but because they used their chance or opportunity in the best way they could, someone saw reason in them and a future, and they've put them to a place where it makes sense for them to continue growing or for them to actually shine. So I think as a society, as an individual, take everything by its stride. It's an opportunity for you to grow. But like I said, don't grow by yourself. Grow with the people around you. I've been blessed enough to be around people who are growing a lot. And one thing that I'll tell you is, if you teach someone to grow along with you, and you actually go on the journey with them, I can trust my friends to handle my finances, to take care of my family when I'm not there, because they understand me. They understand how I roll my wallet. They understand how I want to drive. If there's a car in front of me, if I want to overtake whatever, I signal that I'm overtaking, so I know it's safe. So if I know I have the safe and good kind of friends and family with my back, I know we can relate.
But Pane, again, sometimes with women, this issue of, I don't want you getting close to my man because, I don't want you coming too close to my affairs because and we can't really ignore that, because it does happen that we're like that. You tell your friend something in confidence and then she goes on to spill your business with someone else. I've heard that it's much more difficult now for you to make friends as a grown-up than it was anything.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Again, it comes to being able to actually put your relationship into categories, knowing that I can discuss this with this person and this with this person. There's an interesting clip that was going around about this person was saying, know the kind of stories to tell people. I can't be telling everyone about everything that's going on in my life. Mm-hmm. I can tell you about the certain aspects of my life that I know you can relate to. If I don't tell you about something, you could become offended. But truth be told, you don't relate to the matter. So I'm not inclined or obliged to tell you about it. So it's something in our society that I've realized that's what breeds Makua. How is it Tari got to be told by Patricia herself that she's moving, but I wasn't told? Me and Tari relate on a different level. She probably understands me to that level. You probably just know me on a let's sit, let's dine kind of scenario. But you know me personally. You visited my house whilst I was staying with my parents. Now that I've moved out, I would want you to see where I'm staying. But if you've never visited me when I was staying with my parents, all of a sudden you want to see my house for what? Do you want to come spy on me? Do you really want to see, did I do it by myself or there's a hidden hand? You see, you can really tell someone's intentions based on history. How did we relate before?
Before I got here, before I got successful.
CEO Nasi. Now you really want to be in my circle. But before then, you just looked at me and like, what the hell is this woman doing? So it's those people that were with me in my past that I want to grow with. If you couldn't be with me when I was in my stagnant stage, why do you think I want to grow with you?
Oh, now she's in that position. Now she's CEO. She doesn't want to talk to me. And yet we forget, how was I relating to her before she got into that place? Let's talk about the type of conversations that you're having with your friends. And this is because the level of conversation, we know this, the level of conversation or type of conversation is the one that's going to be able to open doors. It's going to give you information. It's going to give you access. So what kind of conversations do you have with your friends on a regular day?
We don't have to see each other face to face. I know I haven't seen you in over a month, but we can speak to each other every day. So we have a lot of platforms now, Zoom, WhatsApp calls, video conferencing. Make time, even if you are busy, to call your friends. Have group chats where, you know, every now and again you give each other motivational clips, telling each other, how can we make money today? What's popping? Even telling each other. A friend of mine actually told me yesterday, you know, Pick and Pay has a special. You're getting oats for $3.50. Really? But you can go get them for $6. It's those little things that make a difference. If I can allow you to stretch your budget, if you save something, tomorrow we can actually dine together because we've all made savings.
Yeah. So okay, go on.
Yeah. So it's basically what I'm saying is you can discuss the topics you want. We're in a group chat where we discuss literally everything.
Yeah.
From money to men to books to relationships. It helps you grow. I believe if you can be that woman who can relate to other women in groups, outside groups, on individual dialogue issues, you will be able to grow. And at the end of the day, what I've always said is there is no harm in consultation. At the end of the day.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's no harm in consultation.
There isn't. You consult about certain things if you don't know what you want to do. Get advice. At the end of the day, even if you get different, like 500 plus opinions, the final choice is yours. You decide what you want to do for you, what works for you. And be rest assured, the consequences are yours. You then can't say, she told me to do this.
Yeah. Sometimes women are afraid to approach a certain friend, a certain female, because so shame in ignorance, shame in not really understanding what is going on. Which brings me to the next point of, if we're talking about healthy relationships in females and the pretentious female, one of the aspects of a healthy relationship is honesty.
True.
Am I able to tell my friend that the way you are running your life, I don't think tichawana consequences akanaka, or we're going to reap good rewards without being labeled as what you're trying
what
to tell
gives you
me.
the right?
Yeah.
It depends on how you put it across. That's to start with. And also what kind of relationship do you have with this person? She will find no offense. If I can really set her down, you know what? I think and like I said, it's kind of like consultation, but on the opposite side. I'm telling you what I think. So it's still on you to decide, is what she's saying making sense, or she's just trying to play with my mind? At the end of the day, you sit down, you need to go through your head, internalize what I've said. Does it make sense? Do you think what I've said is true or it's not true?
So I never really knew that people could be malicious or intentionally evil, like trying to bring you down. But I realized this as I grow older, that not everybody who follows you likes you. People are following you for different intentions, some to bring you down. For example, you you've got your dreams that you want to achieve, things that you want to do in your life. For example, you want to run for political office. I want to be MP, guys. And then the people will look at you, your friend, they will look at you and say, Trish, really? Iwewe type yakwe, daiwasirana Janet kuti vazviite. But if you're my friend, are you not supposed to be on my team supporting me and saying, okay, Saka, tozviita sei? How do we get you to achieve your goal?
Iye Janet arunzi ari nani pano vanhu vanotozivawo zvinotyisa pamusoro paJanet.
I like that, yeah.
Just as much I know zvinotyisa pamusoro pako Tari. So I'm saying it's your decision. Are you able to live in the limelight once you become a political person? Because the way that you're so chilled now and people don't know much about you, that's when they start to dig deep. Who is Tariro? Where did she start from? They really do want to tarnish your image. Remember, when you're running for office, it's running.
Yeah.
You don't walk into office.
You're running, literally, fast-paced.
We all will walk into office. You have to run for office. That's a lot of work. So you need to look at your past. Think about your present and think about your future. Are you willing to live in a future that people are going to dwell on your past and your present? Do you look at your family? What is this going to change for them? But again, this is something that is inbuilt. Are you a person who's passive? Are you a person who's active? Do you care about what people think? Do you care about what people will think about your family? I know, for an instance, my mother won't be able to stomach certain things. So I won't even tell her. Yeah. Because she won't survive. But there are things I know I can tell my dad and he'll take it at face value. You know what? It does happen. Let's just go along and move to the next chapter. So know yourself first. If you have kids, think about your kids. If you have parents, think about your parents. As much as we want to live in a vacuum, we don't live in a vacuum. And good or bad, I did realize, and I do know, people will always speak. So at the end of the day, it's about you. What do you want? I'm running for office. You don't have to run with me. You don't have to run for me. I will run myself. If you don't want to support me, I will find people who will.
Everything that you're mentioning, it involves a lot of confidence. Yes. In order for me to say, guys, I am running for office, it's not you, and this is the path that I've chosen, I've got my own way of doing things, it takes a certain level of confidence. But unfortunately, in our society, we don't have a lot of people who speak up. Yeah, confidence. I read somewhere that was talking about, some of the loudest voices of people are, I think, empty vessels. Make the loudest noise, and then the pretentious female is the one who's going to be making a lot of noise about your life. But you need to have that wisdom. Kuti, is this working? Is this not? I need to get to a certain place. But giving an example, family setting. I've noticed there's a difference between the family setting and the home setting.
Yes.
For family setting, you will have, you're talking kunana mainini, anambuya, vanateti. They'll say, Trish, come here. I want to mold you. I want to advise you. And they will do that. And you will gladly go and you will listen.
Yes.
But kana kuri kubaza, kana ingave shamari yako dzimwe nguva, you're like, ish. But why? Indava. And chi guys, I've got my life here. So I have to wonder, and I understand these are two different settings. That shield and that guard that makes it I can't.
Okay. It also puts into account how you are labeling them. Whenever they speak rubbish. But I'll tell you, it's not always that someone will speak rubbish. They have something and that you can learn from all the time. So you need to be able to decipher. Can I relate to it? Do I want to practice it? It comes back to consultation. There's people who are really good in doing makeup. I can't compete near a professional makeup artist.
Of course.
As much as I would want to be good at putting my own makeup, I can't. I can't compete with a professional chef. I can't compete with people who know how to style people. We go to boutiques. We know these are the people who have the eat things in their boutiques. So you can't know it all. You have to be able to relate to different people, to be able to get those things. I noticed we spoke mostly about women empowerment and stuff, and we're looking about like the office setup. All these people that I've spoken about, they're also empowered and women of power and success in their own right. if you talk about makeup, you know who you're going to talk about in terms of makeup in Zimbabwe. If you're going to talk about dress and style, you know who you're going to talk about in Zimbabwe. If you're going to talk about food, etiquette, all those things, there's certain names that will pop up. And you know, I will not go wrong if I follow these people because they've done it and they've done it well. So yeah, if you speak something and people know you speak your mind and it's correct, they will listen to you. But if you're speaking something and it's not right for the people, we will listen, but we will not learn. Or as soon as we leave that room, we discard it.
Yeah. I think Pandidambo Dzikore Godo, right? Like just there, you just wake up and you see this beautiful woman and you think, but why can't that be me? Why can't that be me? One of the things that I love is, you know, you are unique, you're beautiful, you're different. Like you said, the race, Kwatruku, Yatruku is different. And where you're coming from and where we're going to finish, really different is Jojo. What would be your message to someone who's listening right now? Perhaps they are the pretentious female. They look at another woman and I can't even relate. I can't even say congratulations when something great happens in your life. You know what I mean? Vanhu ignore. Zvipo graduate. You know, after all my graduates ask, this is Zimbabwe. So you have someone who feels that way for one reason or another.
Okay. So my message to people is don't be threatened by anyone that you see. You don't know their journey. You don't know how they started to start with. And we have a problem in society where, because I tell you I don't like Tari, you also don't want to like Tari. I was about to say Tari. People have history. People have beef. In my misunderstanding, I say give yourself time to actually learn someone or relate to someone and have your own opinion about them before you have a certain stereotype or classify them according to what you've heard about them. You know, I've come across a lot of people, their reputation precedes them.
Of course.
You know, munenge makanzonzi ava vanodada, ava vanozofunga kuti vane mari stereki, avatombomoresa vanhu, vanodididi. But when you relate to those people, you're like, this is not what people make me believe about you. Sometimes I'm honest enough to tell you, you know what? You're nothing like what people say you were. At times you're just like, let me keep my mouth shut and this, whoever it is, who wanted me to think about this, about someone. So give yourself time to actually learn someone. And in everything I've always said, you can learn something from someone. It might take you a day, it might take you 2 days or 3 days. But it's actually different that you can learn from.
That is special.
And it's consultation. Like I said, choose what you want to take and leave the rest.
Choose what you want to take and leave the rest. Trish, thank you so much for talking to me this afternoon. And of course, the rest of the ladies who are watching this, talking about the pretentious female. Are you that woman who has undu mukati memoyo wako ukanzwa mumwe munhu kuti pane zvakanaka zvaitika, or you just can't congratulate them? I think it's time for you to check yourself. This is the podcast series proudly brought to you by Gender and Media Connect, Women's Coalition in Zimbabwe, Research and Advocacy Unit, SWAG, in partnership with the Embassy of Sweden in Harare. My name is Tari Manamiki, and we bring you this show every single week for the next few weeks. You can follow us at Gender and Media Connect at Tari Manamiki for more happy listening and issues that affect women. Thank you.